So I think that's the snapshot. The last 3 years, Bitcoin's been the best performing asset. Why? It's just the most thermodynamically sound, simplest idea. Bitcoin had the appeal of a big tech network, and it also had the appeal of a tangible commodity that was the most scarce commodity. So what happened?
Hello and welcome to Crypto Street, where we bring you the latest and most intriguing stories from the world of cryptocurrencies. In today's video, we'll be unraveling the secrets of Bitcoin's future. But before we jump into that, let's take a look at some recent developments in the cryptocurrency market. Over the past 30 days, Bitcoin miners discovered 4,324 block rewards during the month of June, with approximately 37 mining pools dedicating hash rate to the blockchain. The blockchain achieved 2 milestones in June as the network reached an all-time high in hash rate on June 11, and 3 days later, on June 14, the mining difficulty also reached a new peak. Vitalik Buterin, a co-founder of Ethereum, the second largest cryptocurrency project by market cap, took a stance on the recent actions that the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, has taken in the field of enforcement against crypto. Buterin mentioned how projects like Solana were included in these legal actions and stated that the real competition was the centralized world. It's been an action-packed week in the world of finance and crypto, and moving into July, there's a lot to cover to get up to speed. Compromised chat accounts being sold on darknet markets, Bitcoin Cash's hash rate shooting upward with the BCH price. The Central Bank of Argentina has officially included the Chinese yuan as a recognized currency for making deposits in bank accounts. Opening yuan accounts could attract more people and enterprises to exchange Argentinian peso to yuan as more or less a safe haven currency, instead of exchanging all of their local currency to US dollars, an economist explained. According to a report from the 3rd annual China-Africa Economic and Trade Expo, Africa and China are continuing to strengthen their long-term trade ties. China wants to be one of Africa's largest trading partners, and reports reveal on Friday that this year's expo is expected to generate $19 billion in deals. Some 40% of South African survey participants are familiar with the concept of Web3, and a further 80% believe the technology backing cryptocurrencies can transform or fully rebuild the financial system, according to the findings of a consensus survey. However, as much as 59% believe scams are among the main barriers stopping many from dabbling with cryptos. Just under half of the respondents, 48%, named the crypto market's volatility as one of the most significant barriers to entry. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC's former head of Internet Enforcement, has defended SEC Chairman Gary Gensler's approach to regulating the crypto industry. It's time to attack the facts and law on SEC positions and quit the personal attacks on the SEC chair or the SEC staff. It's an anemic and flawed pivot that does not work in a courtroom and is a transparent and Bush League attempt to rally the mob. Now let's begin our enlightening discussion with Michael Saylor.
What consumer items will get more expensive? Will it be food or shelter or energy? And then where will the inflation land in financial assets? So I'm going to focus on financial assets. On August 10th, 2020, MicroStrategy announced we were going to buy $250 million worth of Bitcoin. And we announced we were doing it because we had a bunch of money. We had $500 million in cash generating 0% yield. And we figured we couldn't hold the cash, and we should go ahead and invest it in something. We either had to give it back to the shareholders or we had to buy something with it. And we went through an exercise. Do we buy art or property or securities or gold or silver or soybeans or oil? And ultimately, we decided, well, we would give half of it back to the shareholders. We announced a $250 million buyback in the form of a Dutch auction at a premium. I think our stock was around 121, 122, and we announced we'd buy back the stock at 140 if anybody wanted to tender their shares. And then the other half, we would buy Bitcoin with it. We bought Bitcoin because we saw it at that point as digital gold, a non-sovereign a non-sovereign bearer instrument, store of value asset. And we liked it better than gold because gold miners make more gold, and because gold is a 19th century idea. You can't teleport gold at the speed of light. And we kind of felt like Bitcoin had the appeal of a big tech network. And it also had the appeal of a tangible commodity that was the most scarce commodity. So what happened?
Bitcoin mining is a dynamic and evolving industry that plays a crucial role in securing the Bitcoin network. Here are some key points about Bitcoin mining based on the provided information. Hash rate. The average hash rate of Bitcoin miners over the past 2016 blocks was approximately 359 exahash per second, E/S, with the current hash rate on July 1, 2023 at around 335.71 each/s. Hash rate represents the computational power dedicated to mining and securing the Bitcoin network. Top mining pool. Foundry USA emerged as the leading mining pool, holding the highest position in both June and July 2023. In June, Foundry accounted for 32.47% of the global hash rate and successfully discovered 1,404 block rewards. Other prominent mining pools, Mpool ranked second in June, contributing 21.35% of the total hash rate and discovering 923 blocks. Other significant mining pools in June included F2 Pool, Batum's Pool, and Viap, collectively accounting for 31.17% of the global hash rate. Difficulty retargets. The Bitcoin blockchain experienced 2 difficulties retargets in June. On June 14, the difficulty increased by 2.18%, and on June 28, it decreased by 3.26%. The difficulty represents the level of complexity required for miners to find new blocks. In June, the difficulty reached an all-time high of 52.35 trillion, but has since decreased to the current level of 50.65 trillion. BTC production per E/. The amount of BTC produced per day by a single E/s of operating hash rate has steadily declined since January 2022. It has decreased from 5.1 BTC to the current rate of 2.6 BTC. This decline is a result of the increasing competition and the predetermined reduction in block rewards over time. These statistics offer valuable insights into the current state of Bitcoin mining, including hash rates, mining pool distribution, difficulty adjustments, and the upcoming block reward halving. As the Bitcoin network continues to evolve, mining remains a critical process for maintaining the network security and validating transactions.
In that time period, since August, we're now not quite 3 years into it, but I guess in 2 months will be 3 years. So we're 34 months into this experiment. Silver is down 21% since that day. Silver is disaster. Bonds, if you bought long-dated bonds, they're down 19%. So, you could have guessed a very weak commodity and credit, both of those not good investments. What about gold? Gold's down 5%. Gold's dead money. So all that money printing, none of it found its way into gold. So what went up in value, or went up in price at least? The NASDAQ is up 23%, and the S&P is up 29%. So actually the S&P outperformed NASDAQ. With NASDAQ, you kind of had some winners, and you had some losers. Bitcoin is up 153%. So Bitcoin's outperforming the S&P by a factor of 5. It's left gold in the dust. We know, I don't have a particular real estate index to give you, but I think anecdotally commercial real estate was high, and now it's getting hammered by the interest rates coming up, and residential real estate advanced rapidly for about a year or two, and now mortgage rates are 7%, and people are talking about the residential real estate market being down. So I think that's the snapshot. The last 3 years, Bitcoin's been the best performing asset. Why? It's just the most thermodynamically sound, simplest idea.
In the provided information, Vitalik Buterin, the co-founder of Ethereum, shared his thoughts on the recent enforcement actions taken by the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, against exchanges and cryptocurrency projects. Buterin expressed sympathy for projects like Solana that have been affected by these actions, stating that they don't deserve it. He also criticized the idea that Ethereum would win by other blockchains being excluded from exchanges, considering it a dishonorable victory that may not be sustainable in the long term. Buterin also highlighted his concerns about the expanding centralized world and its impact on the crypto industry, emphasizing that the real competition lies in that realm. He wished other crypto projects a fair outcome in the ongoing situation. Regarding a classification of cryptocurrencies, Solana, Cardano, Polygon, BNB, and other projects have been included in the legal cases against Coinbase and Binance by the SEC. Solana's native token, Sol, has been labeled as security in these cases, which could potentially affect its listing and permanence on US-based exchanges. The Solana Foundation has challenged the SEC's categorization and expressed disagreement with the characterization of Sol as a security. The status of Ethereum's native token Ether has also been debated. SEC Chairman Gary Gensler did not provide a direct answer on whether Ether is considered a security or not. Former SEC official William Hinman stated in a 2018 speech that he believed offers and sales of Ether were not securities transactions. However, the classification of Ether as a security was mentioned in a lawsuit filed by the New York Attorney General against KuCoin. The unsealing of internal memos and emails related to Hinman's speech has raised the possibility of Ethereum being classified as a commodity, which could potentially boost its decentralization. JPMorgan analyst Nikolaos Panagiotis suggested that these documents might have an impact on the future classification of Ethereum. Overall, the information highlights the ongoing legal challenges faced by cryptocurrency projects and the debates surrounding the classification of tokens like SOL and Ether. That wraps up today's crypto news highlights. Stay tuned for more updates, insights, and analysis from the world of cryptocurrencies. Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more engaging content.